You're teaching people how to disrespect you and you don't even know that you're doing it. And I did it for a very long time. And the number one mistake that I made with disrespectful people is that I would react. I would not react. I would overreact. Oh my God, why would you say that to me? That is so rude. And why would you that? It's like, you start explaining the ramifications of their actions. But one thing we need to all realize is that grown adults know exactly what they're doing. They're not 5 years old. So you don't need to explain to a grown adult how they made you feel. I mean, I know sometimes you do. But for the most part, when somebody who's being disrespectful to you, they know exactly what they're doing. So there's no need to explain shit to them. And also, every time that I explain to somebody who's being disrespectful, give them a whole spiel on how what they're doing is not that isn't kind to me, or it's bringing up things from my past, and it's like, you don't need to do all of that, because that's exactly what they want out of you. People that are disrespectful, they are looking for an energy exchange. And when you're doing this, when you're giving them a reaction, you are rewarding this behavior. As soon as you do this, they are like, yes, they don't give a shit if you say something mean back to them, because that is exactly what they want. They want to fight. They want an argument. They want to get you into the chaos, because they have, there's a lot of chaos going inside of them. So they don't know what to do with themselves. They can't sit with themselves and really heal. So instead, they like to get you in all of that. For the most part, not everybody, but yeah. Now, I want to talk about this. I think there's 3 steps in this. If you're dealing with somebody in your family, in a relationship, I mean, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't be with anybody who's disrespecting you. That's just not acceptable. But this is what has helped me. And I really hope that you take this into account, what I'm going to be saying next, because I have tried to deal with disrespectful people in so many different ways, and none of it works except for what I'm going to say next. So the first thing, and actually I know the word disrespect is such a big word, and I can't give you exactly what to do in every single scenario, but this is what I would do if somebody is being disrespectful in person, if there's somebody who really knows me well. So the first thing, when they say this thing that is rude or nasty, or is like it's getting under your skin, what you want to do is react. The number one thing I want you to do is do not react to them. So what you're going to do first is you don't react. That's the D. Don't react. And also what I would recommend, if you're new to this, I would recommend to breathe. Of course, breathe. But it's difficult. I get it. When someone's saying it to you, it's difficult to breathe. But this comes with practice. This comes with awareness. So don't react. And also I would recommend to count till 5. When you're speaking to somebody disrespectful, start counting in your head, okay? Because they say things to you where you want to straight away go like, no, that's not it. Or you just want to explain yourself, right? So the best thing to do is don't react, breathe, and count till 5 or count till 10, depending on, how chaotic it's getting. Secondly, you're going to respond to them. That is the difference between somebody who is going to give their power away to somebody who's disrespectful, and somebody who is harnessing that power, and they're going to use that power for the betterment of humanity and to do good in the world. They're not taking that power and giving it away to the freaking devil. Okay. Also, I want to mention that sometimes we attract disrespectful people in our lives because we perceive them to be that way. And sometimes they are there in our lives to teach us how to do what I'm going to say next, to not give your power away. Because the one thing that you and everybody in the world needs to know, that in life, regardless of who you are, if you're a YouTuber, if you work as a lawyer, it doesn't matter. People in the world will try to trigger you. They will try to get you out of alignment. And that is there is a purpose in that. And the purpose in that is to really see how strong of a person you are, how patient you are, how compassionate you are. So the second thing is respond, and you respond without any emotion. This is the biggest thing. If you don't take anything away from this, you always have to respond without any emotion. That is how you know that you're winning. I know it's just not about losing or winning, but this is just about knowing, or what can you call it? It's just about qualifying your response to somebody who's disrespectful. You know that when you don't give them anything, that means that you're not giving your power away. Now, there's different ways of doing this depending on what they said to you. But one of the things I like to say is, let's say they say, you're a horrible person and blah, 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 whatever. And you go to them, you breathe and you look at them and you count to 5 in your head and you go, interesting. Or, okay. Sometimes that works. Just saying, okay. And I know some people will be like, that's not a response. How can you just say okay? And it means you're accepting what they said to you. Not to me, because the whole intention behind this is it doesn't matter what the fuck they say, because they don't truly matter. Okay. They are doing these things to get a reaction out of you, and what they're saying is not truthful. So if you're going to respond to every single person that is trying to trigger you, means there's some truth in what they're saying about you. I'm just talking about somebody saying something where you know it's going to push your buttons. I would suggest to breathe, count to 10, count to 5. And you're going to respond with, interesting. Okay. That's it. Like, I wouldn't communicate with this person. And you don't have to always give them a full sentence. So there's no need to keep on going with them. There's literally no need to do that. So don't react for D. Respond with no emotion for the R, so DR. And the last one is boundary. You're going to state your boundary if they keep on at it. They keep on trying to get you under their skin, or they're doing something where maybe you're on a call with them, and of course you can't keep going, okay, yeah, like you can't keep doing that. So I would say to respond with no emotion for the first 1 or 2 times. And when you know they really are at it, they want to start a war with you, that is when you create your boundary. And I know some people might disagree and they might say, just state your boundary straight away. And I get that. It really, again, depends on the circumstance and what they're saying. Because sometimes a little dig could be just a little dig. It's like you can just let it go. You don't have to always respond to every single thing. But if they're, if it's like the third and the fourth, at the third time, that is when I would state my boundary. If you continue speaking to me like this, I'm going to end the call. And if they keep on continuing, that is when you follow through. You end the call. A lot of us, we state the boundary, but then we keep on negotiating. Stop negotiating with the devil. You state your boundary. If you speak to me this way, I'm going to end the call. You say whatever you have to say, and you say it slowly. You're breathing through it, and eye contact. But you do not give away your energy. You do not say, don't do any of that. So this is what you do. You don't react. Count till 5 in your head. And you respond with no emotion for the first 2 times. The third time is when you state your boundary. If this continues, I end the call. And then you do it. You follow through with your word. And once you do this once or twice, they see, oh wait, she or he is actually following through. And I have to actually take them seriously now because they're going to end the call. And then I won't even get this time with them. That is how you do it. Okay, so again, I'm sure there's other things that I can definitely add, but just at the very beginning, I want us to at least work on not reacting. That if you could take one key from what I just said is don't react, respond. And you respond by saying something that doesn't really, but when you say okay or interesting, like that person is not going to have much to say. But if you say something like, how dare you say that? That's horrible. And then say, well, you're pretty sensitive. What's wrong with you? What happened in your childhood for you to be so it can turn into this ping pong match, which you don't want. I hope that you take this into account and you actually use it and not just listen to me blabber. And that's it. Also, I want to let you guys know I do offer one-on-one coaching sessions. If you're tired of choosing people in situations which cost you your self-respect and you're ready to be in a relationship or just live a life where you don't need to shrink in order to be chosen, then apply for my clarity session. The link is down below. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next one.